I'm going to show you how to change the gas cap on a Panigale V4. It is fairly simple, except you have to reuse the flange that comes on the stock gas cap, which sometimes people find a little confusing. And I'm going to show you how to do it. 4mm Allen head, 2.5mm Allen head, and a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. To take the stock gas cap off, just pop the gas cap open. These 4 screws. This will take the gas cap and the flange out, and then I'm going to show you how to take that flange apart so that we could reuse it on the new gas cap that we're going to put on. We remove it by using a 4mm Allen. Once the bolts are removed, all you do is pick it up. This is what we're going to be reusing, is this bottom piece. That's actually the flange that goes into place. To make sure the gasket is put in the right way, this little piece that's sticking out here, it goes to the right side of the bike, because you want to make sure that the gasket's on the right. So let's get to it. So that's the stock gas cap, and that's the TWM gas cap and the hardware that's included. I'm going to show you what you're supposed to do. Basically, to start off with, we're going to remove these 5 Phillips bolts. So just make sure when you're trying to remove these Phillips screws, you don't strip it. You need to use the right size. The one that we have is a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Once you remove all the bolts, take it apart, and this piece comes out. This is the part that we need. That's the flange, and that's the stock gas cap. Stock gas cap weighs in at 237 grams, and the TWM gas cap weighs in at 88 grams. And then you'll see that when you put the TWM gas cap into place, it lines up with these holes. The TWM gas cap comes with this hardware. We'll call these oval nuts, this regular nuts, and the countersunk screws. We'll grab this piece, the flange. You take the oval nuts and you just insert them on the back of it, just like this. And even though that we're using the carbon fiber fuel cap from TWM, this installation is exactly the same for the aluminum one. And you just flip it over. The regular nuts, you place them into these holes. The trick is, maybe you should do it one by one so that you don't have to try to hold it in. Just as you put the top and the bottom one like this, put the countersunk bolt through so that it keeps this in place. You might want to put these oval nuts one by one because it's hard to hold in place, but I'm going to go for it. Again, insert the nuts into the holes, and once you insert them, just thread in the nut that's on the top and the oval nut that's in the bottom in place, and then go on to the next one. You'll end up with something that's looking like this once you're done. Again, the oval nuts go in the back, all 5 of them, and the regular nuts get put into this place that you see on the flange, and then now we're going to take this onto the bike. Remember what I mentioned earlier about this part looking towards the right of the bike? When I say right side, that means when you're sitting on the bike, the right side of the bike. As you see, just want to make sure that these are in place, that they're not going to fall off. What you're going to do is that you're going to flip this over again. Make sure that this is facing the right side of the bike. Put it into place. And then you have to align these 4 holes so that you can put the stock bolts that hold the gas cap into place. Be very careful not to drop anything into the gas tank. If you want, as a precaution, you could probably put some sort of a rag or something to block the hole, but if you're careful, you shouldn't need to do that. This is the breather right here. Before you tighten down this flange, you want to make sure that you have even gaps around it. When you put it in, obviously it's a circular thing and it's not going to line up perfectly. You might want to just check it and see if it needs to move, and then just pull it to one side if it has to, and then while you hold it, tighten it down so that you get a nice even gap around it. Ultimately, this is going to be what sets the gas cap on top. If you don't do this properly, you might have your gas cap sitting closer to another edge. And using your 4mm Allen key, just tighten down the gas cap. Don't go too tight at the beginning, and always crisscross. Snug it. You don't want to strip or break any bolts. One more time just to make sure that it's tight. There you go. Now what you could do is that you could back these bolts out, make sure the nut stays in place. Just want to make sure all these nuts are flush. If you see anything that's not flush, just push them back down. Grab your TWM gas cap, put it into place, line up these holes, and put your bolts back into place. We're using a 2.5mm Allen head to put these on. Again, you want to try to tighten these in a crisscross pattern. We're not tightening each bolt completely until we have all 5 bolts in place, because we have to get the gas cap into place. And now we can start tightening everything down. This is a very small Allen head, so you really don't want to strip it. You want to be very careful. And again, follow a star pattern to tighten it down. So that's how easy it is to install this TWM carbon fiber gas cap on a Panigale V4. Again, if you have an aluminum version of this gas cap, the installation is the same. To open it, you just simply push down, quarter turn, open, and then you just put it back into place.